Like, share, subscribe. Live for Love TV. Awesome!
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 17th day of the 7th month of the 24th year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing extremely well out there. Today, you can see some murky water behind me. If you look at it, I'm sure you can see it on the camera. It's very green and murky looking. So that alone should tell you where I am if you've been a traveled person. If you don't know where I am, then just put in the comments and I'm sure somebody will tell you where you see green, murky water. Anyway, I think I'll talk about the JPS in the Jamaica power company over there in Jamaica, basically. Yeah, the Jamaican power company, the electricity company, the company that has a monopoly, that is right up there in the most expensive power in the world. You'd believe it would be a first world country, but they still call Jamaica a developing country or a third world country in some people's minds, and yet their electricity is so high. And both governments have allowed a power company to have a monopoly, so they can literally monopolize the people, abuse the people, get no redress and nowhere else to go. Well, as people know about JPS, people who've lived in Jamaica or been there at all, they know about the situation with the JPS. But this passing hurricane has completely and utterly exposed the JPS to being not fit for purpose. They really are not fit for purpose. Currently in Jamaica, 2 weeks after the hurricane passed by, didn't make landfall, but it passed by, didn't have a direct hit. 2 weeks after, there's many parts of the country, no matter what percentage they say are backward power, there's many parts of the country who still don't have power and water. Can you imagine that? 2 weeks. People in the night time, mosquitoes biting them every night, no fan, no fridge, no place to keep your food, no place to store any food or have a running bath or use your water pump or whatever you have. Absolutely unbelievable. And remember this, and I'm going to stress it maybe a few more times in this video, was a passing hurricane. This hurricane did not make landfall. Could you imagine if it had made landfall like it did in, I think it was Union Island, some of the Windward Islands, Grenadines and stuff like that. Could you imagine if it made landfall in Jamaica, what the state would be of the country? The JPS should not be allowed to monopolize. We always knew they were not fit for purpose and they were abusing their power. This passing hurricane has proved it. All over the country right now, in pockets of the country, you have people blocking roads because they have not had no power for 2 weeks. And you can't blame them. I mean, unless you're in that condition, you wouldn't understand what it feels like, 80, 90 degrees at night time, no power, and quite a lot of time, no water either. As I said, nowhere to store any food. You literally have to go out on a daily basis and get food because you can't store it. You can hardly get any ice. Some people have been on generators from day one, from the first 2 weeks. Could you imagine how much that's costing those people as well? Even those people who have money and the means, they are feeling it as well. So it's an unbelievable situation. You imagine if JPS was broken up and there was many power companies in Jamaica, they'd all be racing and clamoring at the bit to make sure every line is up. Every line that was blown over is up and that power is around the country. This is what would be happening. You'd have different management teams, you'd have different people, supervisors in different power companies, all fighting and vying to get that work done. But now what you have is one company across the whole island, and most of the places that they've got back are the places that didn't have many power lines that went down in the first place. That's the places that they seem to have got back so quickly. It's a really tough situation. As I said, I know other countries got hit worse, and I've not been there, so I can't speak on the ground, but I've been in Jamaica and I've seen the state of Jamaica. And to consider that there were so many trees down that people had to go out and get the power saws and cut those trees so that things could move up and down, emergency services and all that. And now less than 2 weeks later, people are having to put the trees back in the streets to protest the JPS, to let them know that nothing's not going to move in Jamaica in certain parts unless you bring back power. And I've never agreed with that. Never. I've seen it being done before when they had no water, but I haven't been in it. Now I've felt it and I'm in it. I can actually totally understand. If you're not on generator the sufferation is just too much. And there are people out there, just think about this, there are people in their houses who have oxygen tanks that need electricity. So if they don't have money to go somewhere or go to hospital or whatever, they're dead because they need power. Maybe they don't have a generator. That's the end of them. That is a state of what's happening, and that's not being spoken about. Lots of people need power for many different reasons, just to stay alive. And it's a really, really bad situation. Just imagine the poor woman in her house with 3 or 4 or 5 children, not able to store any food, having to go out on a daily basis, not able to give them a proper bath other than a chore of a bath. You know, it's a real bad situation. As I said, it's time for both the political parties in Jamaica, the powerful parties, and all their supporters to get together on one thing, if only one thing, that this monopoly has to end. Take care. Live for Love TV.
Like, share, subscribe to Live for Love TV.